Imagine having your own yogurt that you can easily make whenever you would like. Rich and nutrient dense, filled with nutrition and delicious. Hey everyone, I'm in my kitchen today. I'm Monique, a pediatrician turned homeschool mom and keeper of my home. And on my channel, I love to share sustainable living tips on gardening, health, home, family, homeschool, and so much more to help to equip us to better take care of ourselves, family, and our home. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make the simplest 2-ingredient plant-based yogurt. Join me as I go ahead and work on it in my Instapot. It is going to be so simple and I can't wait to taste it. Come on over. Here we are with our simple ingredients. I'm actually using organic oats, and these are the old-fashioned ones. Normally, many people are using rolled oats, which is just fine, but I wanted to go ahead and try something else to see if it would actually give me a good outcome. Now, of course, your old-fashioned oats are thicker than your rolled oats, and your product will definitely be a thicker consistency, but that is actually a positive thing. So you're adding 2 cups of oats and 3 cups of water. I'm also using a good probiotic from Renew Life. It is an organic probiotic and prebiotic. And your last ingredient for your simple 2-ingredient yogurt is your water. I have also added coconuts because I wanted to have that extra creamy consistency. But to make this yogurt, all you need is your oats and your probiotic, and then of course you're adding your water to combine. Once you're done blending, you're going to go ahead and strain it because right now you still have some of the pulp left over in your blended milk. And this step in terms of the straining is also what you would do if you wanted to make your own oat milk. I'm also adding some shredded coconut for the flavor and also for the smoothness that it will give. You're going to do the same process. I added 2 cups of shredded coconut. This is organic. And then to that, I'm going to add 3 cups of water and blend until smooth. Straining the coconut milk is much easier than the home-styled oats. As you can see, it definitely ran through the strainer that I chose to use much more easily. Once you're done, you're gonna have your coconut milk and your oat milk ready in your pot, and this is what you'll have left over for the pulp, which we're gonna use a little bit later on to make some delicious cookies. So what I did was stir it in the Instapot just to incorporate, and I turned the Instapot on at first to steam to get the heat coming up, and then I switched over and alternated as I needed while maintaining the temperature. What I was doing here is trying to get the temperature up to about a boiling point. You can also monitor your solution here because you don't want it to thicken too much. So the more that you heat is the more thickening that you'll receive. With plant-based milks, it seems to me that the 180-degree mark may be a little too high, like what normally would be used with whole cow's milk. So monitor your milk and monitor the thickness so that you can get it to be the consistency that you would like. Once my milk warmed up to about 170 or so, I removed it from the pot so that I can cool it down to about 110 degrees. And then at this point, once it's cooled down to that temperature, you want to go ahead and add your good probiotic culture so that you can then incubate it in a little bit. Once you add your culture, you're going to go ahead, incorporate it, and mix it in. For this recipe, I'm using 1 scoop from the Renew Life Probiotic and Prebiotic powder. Mix this in well so that you can really incorporate that probiotic into your milk so that it will culture nice and evenly. I'm using a silicone spatula here so that I can really wipe down the sides and incorporate everything as one. As you can see here, the consistency is already nice and thick and creamy. So that kind of already gives you an idea of where you will end up at the end of the process. Once I've incorporated, I transfer it back to the Instapot insert, making sure I get everything in, and then at this point you're going to go ahead and set your Instapot to the yogurt setting. In order to do that, you're going to press yogurt and you're going to make sure you end up at the 8-hour setting, which is what I preferred. The longer that you culture the yogurt is the more tart it will be. So I thought I'd go ahead and have kind of a middle ground. Some people go even 10 to 12 hours. Once this is done, I let it go and do its thing. In the meantime, I went ahead and used that wonderful nutrition-filled pulp from the oats and the coconut to make some delicious cookies. I also added some sorghum, which I freshly milled, in my NutriMill. And once I did that, as you can see, you're going to get a nice flour that you can use in your baking. So to the pulp, I added my freshly milled sorghum flour. This sorghum I obtained from Azure Standard. I'm also going to add about a teaspoon or so of baking powder. I added just a little squeeze of honey, and I added some spices. I did pumpkin spice and ginger, and I'll go ahead and put the ingredients down below so that you can follow it for yourself. I also added some flax meal, which is a nice binding agent. In this recipe, I added no oil and no refined sugars. I'm also adding in some raisins, and once you do this, You're gonna go ahead and combine it until you get to kind of a thick batter consistency, a cookie consistency that you can then manipulate, that you can then work with. I also thought my children would enjoy having some dark chocolate chips added, so I did go ahead and add a few chocolate chips toward the end before I went ahead and shaped the cookies. Now, the batter is a little bit sticky but really easy to work with. You just go ahead and shape your batter into little balls and then flatten them very easily. Once you've done this, you can go ahead and place it in the oven at about 350 degrees, and you're going to be watching it. I put mine in for about 15 to 20 minutes. Since this one has no eggs in it or any really raw ingredients, it does not take very long to cook. There's nothing like being able to make healthy and nutrition-filled treats for your family, especially when you're able to extend ingredients that people may not even normally think to use. Once finished baking, you can go ahead and set them out to cool for about a few minutes before enjoying. So here we are. We have finished getting together the oat milk yogurt. It's in the Instapot. We have set it for about an 8-hour time frame. We're at about the 1.5-hour mark. So we're going to leave it there, let it go for the hours it needs, and then we'll get back to that and I'll let you know how it's going. Now our oat milk pulp cookies are ready and we are going to go ahead and taste. Let's see. It is so wonderful when you can use all the materials that you have and let nothing go to waste. So important and so good to teach your children how to do these things so that they can learn sustainability, health, and really work with what they have so that they can really make wonderful things out of simple and healthy ingredients. Let's take a taste. Here we are. You have got to try it. It is so very, very good. I'll see you back in a second when I check back with you with our yogurt. It's been several hours now and it's the next day. I've just went ahead and checked on the yogurt. It's at just about that finished point. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you how it's looking. The consistency was still quite thick, but I wanted to go ahead and kind of incorporate it a little bit more to blend it further. So I went ahead and did a quick blend and then I added it into the fridge to chill. It's the morning and the yogurt is ready now. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I assembled it and how we're gonna go ahead and enjoy it. Come on over with me. Give it a taste. Not too tangy, nice and mild, and with the oats and the blueberries, 100%. You've got to try this as well. Nutrient dense, rich and good for your gut. Try this yogurt recipe. As always, do all you can to be more and more sustainable, and until next time, be blessed.